Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Michael here with Inhailer Radio. I'm here with Nate from Motherfolk.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Eternal Joy coming out
Yes, sir.
as of recording today.
Yeah, at midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the title. Where did that come from?
The title, Eternal Joy, the whole album is sort of about like trying to trend upward mentally. I think there's a lot of like art and music, especially in the world, that's just sort of like wallowing in like sadness and bad feelings. And like a lot of our music in the past has been that. And honestly, I just really wanted to sort of document what it's like to be like, okay, I actually legitimately want to get out of that place. Like, how do I do that? Where do I go? And when you like make that decision, it's a good thing, but it also leads you down these like weird rabbit holes of like self-help and spiritualism, and like you run into a lot of people who claim they have the answers, and no one like really does. So it's up to you to figure out like what the truth is for you, and to like pick and pull from each thing, and sort of make that for yourself. So it's kind of eternal joy is sort of, to me, this like unattainable goal that is like people try to sell you along the way. Yeah. That's not really an actual thing, but it's certainly something a lot of people talk about.
Yeah, like they sell you that like temporary happiness.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Whatever that may be.
Exactly. Yeah. And the whole thing is, it's different for everybody, but that's kind of like where the sort of thesis of the album lies, of like, what does it actually look like to do this? And the journey is imperfect, and there's like ups and downs, and like eternal joy is probably not an attainable thing, but still a good thing to aim for, I guess.
Yeah, when listening to the record, that was one of my biggest, I guess, like glaring points. Mm-hmm. It felt like, I wrote it down somewhere, melancholic hope.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it felt like.
I think so.
It was, you want this and you want to achieve this, mm-hmm. but you need to have that vulnerability first.
Yeah, and it's kind of the acceptance of like where you are too. Like, I think is maybe where the melancholy comes from, is like it's everything. It should be a journey, of course, but like it's also okay to like be happy with where you are each step along the way too. So yeah.
Sweet. I think it's a perfect name for the record. Thank you. Like absolutely perfect, especially mixed with that rollout.
Right. This
like 90s kind of public access, almost like PSA, VHS, that whole world that you're living in. It's really, it fits. Everything fits together like a puzzle. It's very nice.
Yeah. That was definitely all very intentional. Like, I kind of wanted to brand the album in like this era with those things like that. Like, there's so much like sort of like bullshit you find along the way of just sort of like, I don't know, like crystals and like healing energies and stuff like that, which is just like, I don't know. And like, it's easy to see how people can get sucked into like whatever rabbit hole, but I just thought it was cool to like sort of brand it with those sorts of things. And like the whole public access aesthetic is like mysterious in and of itself. And it's so like, I'm obsessed with dead technologies, like things that feel like they're just barely hanging on in like today's world. And I think like, I feel like that, especially in the music industry that's changed so much. I find a lot of like solace or like relation to those sorts of things. So using them to sort of like develop the look of this album, I think felt natural for me.
I would say the aesthetic of the album mixed with the hotline.
Yeah.
That I believe you can still call, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The hotline is open and will stay open indefinitely. So,
awesome.
Yeah. Giving people...
Give that a call if you have a few minutes.
Please. And like maybe under the influence of something too. It's
I'm not going to say that.
There's definitely been a lot of people who are like, what the fuck is this? But that was just fun, man. That was actually like probably my favorite part of this entire record was making that hotline, like writing it, putting it together, all of it. It's such like, it's the first time I think we've really cultivated an experience removed from the music, but also feels like a sidecar to it.
Yeah. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, right. And maybe once people hear the record, things will kind of link better there too. But
I'm at a little of an advantage.
Right. Yeah.
I got it all.
Yeah.
But
It's certainly when we made it, I was like, we're going to confuse a lot of people with whatever this is. But that's definitely something we want to keep doing, is sort of just making like experiences, offline experiences for people to enjoy at their own pace and their own leisure. And we did that whole thing in-house too. Ethan is an IT guy.
Oh, wow.
And so I didn't even know this, but his whole job was phones for years. And so I had this idea to do this thing, but I had no clue how to do it.
Yeah.
And one day I ran it by him and he was like, oh, I know exactly how to do that.
Wow.
And so he set the whole thing up like on the tech side. His wife, Sam, was our narrator for the whole thing.
I was curious whose voice that was.
Yeah.
It did not sound like Carly.
No, much better diction than Carly. Not.
He said it.
I don't know if that's an insult or not.
I don't think so.
But that's probably like my favorite part of the record, was like not making the music, but was just making that sort of experience.
I think fun. I've latched on to that when you said it, because that's what it feels like to the listener.
Yeah.
It feels like whoever was involved in making this had just fun, and it was vulnerable, and you got to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think, what's your favorite part of that? Because it seems like a very vulnerable experience, but like one memory or song or chord, whatever it could be, that really sticks out to you as like, this was eternal joy for me.
Yeah, actually, I think like the one specific memory that sticks out is we spent a couple weeks in the studio at the end of this record, which was kind of weird because we stopped and started along the way. We went through a lot of like life changes and member changes and stuff like that. And so a lot of the record was done like on my own in my house, but it just didn't feel, I didn't want to put out like a solo record.
Yeah.
I wanted everybody's hands to be on this. So we booked studio time at the end of it to be like, everybody come in and let's just like get all over this thing. And we did that. And at the very last night that we were in the studio, we wrote the song Entropy, which is the like initial track on the album, all based off of a conversation that we had like on the way up driving to the studio. And I kind of kept mulling over the thoughts and where those led me. And it's a very short song. It's just like 4 lines really, but it all happened so fast where it was just kind of like me and our friend Aaron, who came with us, like stepped outside to like write the lyrics real quick while Joel and Ethan stayed inside and figured out like the synth arpeggiator. And then we came in and put it all together. All of this happened at like 3 a.m. too. So It was just like at the end of a studio session, we were dead tired, but it just felt like a moment of inspiration kind of like struck, and we did it. And then kind of like had this big conversation, just sort of like recounting and looking back on like the road that brought us to like making this album and that point. That's probably my favorite memory.
Entropy is amazing. I think it's a perfect album opener.
Thank you.
And knowing that now makes it even better.
Yeah.
Because it was this just spontaneous thing that kind of happened.
Yeah.
You can really hear, I guess, how much care went into everything. So it's cool to hear that there was one maybe 35-minute session where it was like, this is our...
Yeah.
This is the opener.
It kind of felt like it's... If you were going to give like a 2-line summary of the album, it was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It covers both sides. Because sonically, I mean, you yell a little,
Yeah.
You get a little more, there's some big screechy lead guitars but then there's also moments where it's very quiet and intimate and it feels like it's just you and the listener.
Yeah.
Was that fully intentional or was that just the way you were writing the songs or?
I think a little of both. Like there's certainly, I think playing with those dynamics helps to like grab a listener's attention, but also like, I feel like there are definitely moments where it was like, this feels like something I need to yell. So like I yell it. And there are also other moments where it's like, this feels really close and emotional and vulnerable. So I feel like I should sing it that way. And I feel like I've sang softer on this record than I have like on any other that we've done. And that was definitely intentional for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. June 13th, Woodward Theater. Motherfolk, Moonbow, Inhailer will be there. Say what's up if you see us. Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me.
From Motherfolk.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, brother.